Hello again, year 6, and now we're going to continue our final revision for end of term 2 exam. And now we're going to discuss the probabilities lesson. All right, so the first thing that I need to remind you of is that whenever we start mentioning the word probability, you must think about it as fractions. So if I tell you here that we've got a spinner, and what is the probability that it would land on a gray piece if you spun it only one time? What is the probability it would land on a gray piece? Mr. Ahmed said, make it first as a fraction. So here as a fraction is going to be gray is 2. I got only 2 pieces gray. Out of how many? It's out of 7. So 2 out of 7. Is this the half exactly? Less than the half or more than the half? Okay, I'm going to draw this line to remind you of what we have done in class. And I'm going to remind you that we have got actually 3 levels. 1 in the middle, 1 which is the half exactly, 1 that is more than the half, 1 that is less than the half. I'm going to just write them down here. All right. Look at this. We agreed here if it is the half exactly. If I wrote the fraction and I found that the fraction is the half exactly, then it is even chance. But if the fraction is more than the half, then it is likely. And if the fraction is less than the half, then it is unlikely. I forgot to write here, unlikely. All right, unlikely. Okay, good. So here in this fraction, they were asking us about the probability it would land on a gray piece. On a gray piece, it is only 2 out of 7, which is unlikely to happen. Why, mister? Because 2 out of 7 is less than 50%. It is less than the half. We know that the half of 7 is 3.5. So getting a 2 out of 7, which is less than 3.5, which is less than the half, then definitely it is going to be unlikely. All right, if I get to this question C, what is the probability it would land on a white piece? White piece, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7. 4 out of 7, that is more than the half. More than the half means likely. Okay, what is the probability it would land on a black piece? Black is only 1 out of 7. 1 out of 7, that is way less than the half. Less than the half, then it is unlikely to happen. The last question over here, which is the probability of landing on either white or black. Oh, 1 second. White or black, that is 5. We got 4 white, 1 black. So 5 out of 7, more than half, likely. Okay, the last question, which is not written over here. If I ask you, what is the probability it would land on white, black, or gray? You can pause the video, think about the answer, and then return to check if you got it right or not. Again, the question is, what is the probability it would land on white, black, or gray? Well, the answer is certain, because it is 7 out of 7, mister. It is certainly going to happen. So here I'm going to add certain. Okay. All right. So here, if I say to you, would it land on anything except white, gray, and black? No, Mr. Ahmed, we got only 3 colors, white, black, and gray. So it will definitely land on white, black, or gray. So it is certain. All right, if I ask you, what is the probability it would land on green, on a green piece? Impossible, Mr. Ahmed. We don't have here green. It is impossible, which is 0%. So down here, we got impossible as well. All right. The same thing exactly is going to happen with the rest of the questions. Whether you got dice, whether you got shapes like squares, hearts, circles, whether you got letters, find it first as a fraction. And from that fraction, find out whether it is the half, even chance, less than the half, unlikely, more than the half, likely, certain, or impossible. So first, find the fraction, then turn it into the probability or the likelihood word. All right, that is all about the probabilities in our revision right now. Let's move to the next part. The next part over here is if I say to you something that is 100 times more another number or 100 times less another number. So let me write something over here. 10 or 100, whatever, or 1000, it doesn't make a difference in the explanation that I'm going to give you right now. More than, let's say, 46.2. We're going to make it right now. Let's say 100. And I got the same thing over here, but it is actually about this here. I'm going to say 100 more than 46.2. And I got another thing, which is 100 times less. And here, 100 less than 46.2. All right, look at this, guys. This is extremely important. When I say to you 100 times more than 46.2, it means you're going to multiply by 100. 100 times more, multiply by 100. 100 times less, you're going to divide by 100. Okay. What about 100 more, yeah, mister? Without the word times. If I say 100 more without the word times, it means add 1 to the hundreds. Add 1 to the hundreds place. If I say 100 less than 46.2, it means subtract 100, which is subtract 1 from the hundreds. I'm going to need to change this question over here and make it, for example, let's say 346. So again, the explanation, I'm going to repeat it. If I say to you 100 times more, it means multiply by 100. 100 times less, it means divide by 100. If I say 100 more without the word times, add 100. 100 less without the word times, subtract 100. Okay, guys? So this is the rule. All right, so let's now answer the questions. If I say to you 100 times more than 46.2, it means here that I am multiplying 46.2 by 100. So if you want to multiply by 100, we use the lesson that we learned before, which is Mr. Del. Mr. Del means, look at this. Mr. Del, multiplication, move the decimal to the right. Division, move the decimal to the left. So here, I want to multiply by 100, move the decimal to the right. 2 digits, because I have 2 zeros. Okay, so it's going to be 4, 6, move the decimal. 1 digit, no, another digit, so it's going to become 2, 0. This is the answer of the first question. The second one over here, 100 more than 46.2, that is not multiplication in Mister. It's not times, so it is 100 more. Then I'm going to add 100. 1 to the hundreds place. I don't have anything in the hundreds, so it is going to become 146.2. That is 100 more than 46.2. Here, the next one, 100 times less than 46.2. Okay, 100 times less. That means I'm going to divide by 100. Moving the decimal point to 2 digits to the left. Mr. Dell. Multiplication, move the decimal point to the right. Division, move the decimal point to the left. So here I'm going to move it 2 digits to the left. It's going to become 0.462. All right, guys? 0.462, moving the decimal point to the left. In such a question right now over here, which is 100 less than 346.2, I'm going to take from the hundreds 100. It's minus 100. So it's going to become 246.2. Okay? So in such a question over here, draw a circle around the number that is 100 less. It's not 100 times less. So 100 less, it means I'm going to subtract 100, take from the 5, 100, or take from the hundreds 1, it's going to become 455.4. All right, that's it with the rest of the page. You got only just here doubling and halving, which is just very easy. It's a piece of cake. If I want to move from this number over here to double, we multiply by 2. But if I want to move from here to this way, we're going to divide by 2. All right, let's see what is there in the next page. Normal multiplication and division. Actually, only multiplication over here. Just remember, guys, that the word product means the answer of multiplication. Product means the answer of multiplication. All right, so if I want to multiply, I guess you guys just know how to multiply this easily, but I'm going to take another question that might be a little bit confusing to you, which is kind of like 7.12 times 0.006. How, Mr. would we multiply 3 digits by 4 digits? That is definitely going to be so confusing and complicated, Mr. No, it is actually very easy. How can we do it? The first step to multiply decimals is ignore the decimal points. So we've got over here 712, and I need you to multiply it by 6. All right? So it's 712, removing the decimal points. Ignore the decimal points completely. So it's 712 multiplied by 7. Let's do it right now. And see what the answer is going to be. 6 multiplied by 2 is going to become 12. And I'm going to carry up the 1 in there. 6 times 1 is 6, and 1 is going to be 7. 6 times 7 is going to become 42. So it is 4272. That is the normal multiplication, okay? Oh, Mr. I'm done. That was very easy. Sorry to tell you that if you leave it this way, you're definitely going to be wrong. Why? Because now we need to remember the decimal points. Beginning, we ignored the decimal points, but right now we need to remember them. Where should I put the decimal point? Ask yourself. I have here 2 decimals, 2 decimal points. How many digits do I have after the decimal points? Both of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits after the decimal point. So I want 5 digits after the decimal point of the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want 5 digits and then put the decimal point in here. So I want here 0 to make the 5th digit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th digit is going to become 0, then point. So the answer is 0.04272. And this is how we multiply decimals. Let's move to the next part over here. 150 times 30, there is no need to do longer multiplication or the vertical method. Just write down the 2 zeros. In multiplication, you can just write down the 2 zeros. Now, 3 times 15, mentally, actually, it's 45. If you cannot do it mentally, and if you would like to write it down and do the vertical method of multiplication, it's up to you. But just here, write the 2 zeros down. 3 times 15 is 45. Same thing over here, write the 2 zeros down. 4 times 6 is 24, and so on. All right, let's move to the next page. The next page over here is about the function machine. The function machine, we agreed in class that if they give you the beginning and if they just wanted the end, we move normally forwards. How, Mr.? What number would come out if she puts in the number 5? This thing here, Phoebe has a function machine. When she puts in a number, the machine multiplies that number by 5, then it adds 8. What number would come out? Okay, so I have here the machine. What number would come out of the machine if Phoebe puts in number 5? If she puts in number 5. So, Mr., I'm going to move normally. That's the normal direction, Mr. So she puts in 5. The machine will multiply by 5, which is 25. Then it adds 8, which is going to be 33. Good. That was very easy. But what if they tell you right now, what number would she have put in to get the answer? 23. Oh, Mr. Ahmed, 1 second. Now they've given us the answer and they want to know the number. The question mark now is here. So what are we supposed to do right now? I'm supposed to move backwards. And if you move backwards, I need to use the inverse operations, which means the opposite operation. I'm going to move backwards starting from 23. 23 plus 8? No. Yeah, Mr. It says here adds. Yes, but we're moving backwards, so it becomes subtract. 23 minus 8, which is going to be 15. 15 times 5? No, backwards. Inverse operations, so 15 divided by 5, which is going to give us 3. So the answer over here is 3. You follow the same method with the rest of the page. All right, let's move now to the next page. Here, definitely also you have to follow the arrow. So the arrow here is saying you move from here and you go right. It gives you 44, a number. You double it, gives you 44. So it's definitely 22. 44, you double it, gives you what? 88. Okay, good. But here, Mr. 20, you double it, gives you, oh, no. We're moving backwards here. So it's a number. We're moving from here. You double it, gives you a number. That you double gives you 20. So here, Mr. is definitely 10. Look at the arrow, guys. They're saying it to you that this number, you double it, it moves to 20. Good, so it's 10, yeah, Mr. But then what is the number that you double it, gives you 10? It is 5. Be careful, the arrow changes everything. Next page. Multiplication, we've done it. The long division, we're going to do it right now in a minute. We're going to find another page over here. Okay. Let's find this one over here. Dividing by 12. I'm going to write it here. 8, 5, 2 divided by 12. To those who haven't mastered the long division yet, please write down the steps. Division, multiplication, subtraction, bring down. To those who mastered the long division, you don't need to write down the steps, so just keep going. All right. How many 12s are in 8? Or what is 8 divided by 12? How many 12s are in 8? 0 12s, Mr. How many 12s are in 85? Oh, Mr. Ahmed, I need to be aware of my everything in the times table. Yes, exactly. How many 12s are in 85? You're going to find that the closest number to 12, to 85 in the 12 times table is 84, which is 7 times 12. That all depends on how well you know your times table. I'm very sorry, guys, to tell you that if you don't know your times table very well, your times tables, Unfortunately, you're going to struggle a little bit with long division. Actually, you're going to struggle a lot with long division. Okay, some of you already write the times table before starting. This is definitely going to help you. Okay, so here, we found that there are 7 12s in 85 because we know that 7 times 12 is 84. Okay, I'm done now, I'm with division. There are 7 12s in 85 and I wrote the answer of the division up. Next, multiplication. 7 times 12 is 84. And now I'm done with multiplication. Mister, what am I supposed to do next? I got lost. Oh, come on, go to the steps. Next, after multiplication is subtraction. So subtract 85 minus 84 is 1. And here, 0. Done with subtraction. What is next, mister? Bring down. Okay, bring down the 2. So it is 12. Done, mister, with bring down. Am I done now with the whole thing? No. Every time you bring down, you must go back to division. How many 12s are in 12? What is 12 divided by 12? It is 1. Yes. 1 times 12 is 12. You subtract, it gives you 0, 0. Now I'm done. 852 divided by 12 is 71. And that is about long division. Okay, we're going to move right now to angles in triangles. How can I find a missing angle of a triangle? It's very easy. We agreed that the 3 angles of a triangle, the 3 of them are actually 180 degrees. Any angles? Yes, any triangle. Any triangle adds up to 180 degrees? Yes, the 3 angles of any triangle add up to 180 degrees. So here, let's do this. 55 plus 75 is going to give us, so 75, I'm going to erase this. 75 plus 55, this is how we're supposed to do it, is going to give us exactly, sorry about my handwriting, 75 and 55 is going to be 130 degrees. Then now I'm going to take 130 away from 180 and it will give me x. So 180 minus these 2 angles together will give me x. So 180 minus 130 will give me 50 degrees. So x is 50 degrees. If you want to make sure that you're right, add 50 plus 75 plus 55 is going to give you 180 degrees exactly. And that's the same thing with the rest of the questions over here. The same thing exactly. All right, here in this question we have isosceles triangles. Isosceles triangles are triangles that have 2 equal sides, like this one over here. These 2 sides are equal. If these 2 sides are equal, then these 2 angles are also equal. So this is 70, then this is also 70. Okay, now Mr. I can find x. Yes, 70 and 70 is 140. Take it away from 180 is going to give you 40 degrees. Then x is 40 degrees. Again, this is an isosceles triangle. It says to you, you see these 2 small lines? It means that these 2 sides are equal. It means that these 2 angles are also equal. Okay, this one is 80. Then what is left for the other 2 angles? What's left is, Mr. 100, because I know that the whole thing is 180 degrees. This one is 80, then the other 2 together must be 100. Both of them together, Mr., must be 100 to complete the 180 degrees. Both of them together must be 100. And they told me that this is an isosceles triangle, which means that these 2 are equal. Both of them are 100. Both of them are equal. Then one must be 50, and the other also must be 50 degrees. So 50 degrees and 50 degrees and 80 degrees is going to give me 180 degrees. Again, they told me that this is an isosceles triangle, which means that this angle is equal to this angle. I have this 80, then the rest, both of them together, must be 100 degrees. And they are equal, so 100 divided by 2 is 50 and 50. Okay, the next lesson. Measuring angles. I'm going to try my best to get back to this and help you with it. Let's just see if there's something else over there. All right, let's move to the laws of arithmetic. The laws of arithmetic. Well, not to confuse you guys, I'm going to try right now to get the protractor, not to confuse you, and help you with measuring angles first. Measuring angles, just a second. I don't think that I'm going to be able to get the protractor over here. We got a ruler. All right, I'm going to try to do this at the end of the session, at the end of the video. If I find a way to get the protractor while I'm recording the video, I will do so. If I can't, please, we have done this many times in class. Just measure the angle normally using the protractor and write the measurement over here. And make sure, because the protractor, you're going to have two numbers. Make sure if this is an acute angle, then you choose the number that is less than 90. If it is an obtuse angle, like we don't have over here an obtuse angle. If it is an obtuse angle, then definitely you're going to choose the number that is greater than 90. All right, here in the reflex angles, they want you to measure the angle that is outside. How can we do it? You must measure with your protractor the angle that is inside. This one over here, which is an obtuse angle, you must measure it. Let's assume, just for example, I'm just assuming it's going to become 123 degrees, for example. So the reflex angle is going to be 360 minus 123 degrees. Will give you the reflex angle. All right, what about this angle over here? The same thing exactly. What about this one? This very small angle. The same thing. Measure this very small angle with your protractor. If you find that it is only, let's say, for example, 10 degrees, then you take 10 degrees away from 360. So 360 degrees minus 10 degrees is going to give you 350 degrees. And this would be the reflex angle, 350. So in order to find the reflex angle, you must find the angle that is inside and subtract it from 360 degrees. All right. Drawing an angle. You're going to just draw a straight line, any straight line, just like this. You put the protractor on the center of the protractor over here. You find the measurement until you reach 23. For example, you found here that 23 on the protractor is here. Then you just link the 2 points over here. This is going to be 23 degrees. Okay, guys? All right. Next is the laws of arithmetic. The laws of arithmetic. Don't forget that we have to start with doing the brackets. So the first thing, brackets. Then we got the exponents. Then we got multiplication or division in order from left to right. Then we got addition or subtraction in order from left to right. So let's follow the steps right now in order to answer these questions. First here, guys, the first question, 36 times 45 is the same as 36 times what? Oh, mister, they broke the 45 into 9 times something. 45 is 9 times 5. That's okay. Over here, don't forget that you must finish first the brackets. 10 minus 4 is 6. Then multiply by 9, it's going to give you 54. 6 times 9 is going to be 54. All right, the same thing with the rest. It's not 16 minus 7. No. Finish the brackets. It's 14. 16 minus 14 is going to become 2. All right. Now let's continue. If I want something like this, yes, I want a question like this one over here. Look at this here. How can I do it? First step, the brackets. 3 plus 9 is 12. And bring down everything else to the same place. So here plus, here the 12 as it is, bring the first 12, then times 2 over here. Now, after I finish the brackets, I cannot say 12 plus 12 is 24. Wrong. Come on. We said the first thing, you must do the brackets. Done. Second, exponents. We don't have exponent semester here. All right. Third is multiplication or division in order from left to right. So I have to finish first in multiplication. So here is going to be 24. Add is at the end. You add at the end. So 12 plus 24 is going to give you 36. Don't forget to follow the order of operations. That's it. Thank you so much, Year 6, and see you tomorrow.